what you mean? I'm like, I said what I meant. So it's interesting. So this is a new part of my research to see where people's cognition actually is when they ask a question. Because remember, when you ask a question and a person answers it, they get their own serotonin and dopamine boost by answering the question. And then you, as the person who asked the question, is in theory receiving your answer. And so your reward, you get a natural dopamine boost because you got the answer to your question. It's supposed to be a neurological exchange of neurotransmitters and those three hormones, but that's not actually working. Two, serotonin and dopamine. Okay, Regina, you said it's happening with younger and younger people, raise short-term memory and comprehensions, and not thinking critically. Learning punctuation is often overlooked in school and not taught directly. Yes, and I'm just saying, if it was a question, and I'm trust me, I'm not, and I have the Strunk White's Elements of Style that, and I've read it to be able to do it. And you have free intellectual freedom when you're speaking because it's technically conversational. But you could say, "Did you mean that?" Or, well, no, I meant that. I meant that. I meant that. So with the tonality, it can turn it into a statement. I meant that. Now it's an exclamation point. But if it's just out there, you kind of just like, I don't know if this is a question, an exclamation point. What am I supposed to do with this? And I'm working with Nola with that too, because she'll send me a text message or turn her stuff in. I'm like, ooh, I don't know where that paragraph ended, began. Is it a comma? Is it a period? So it's interesting that we're allowing technology to take over. And then people are like, and the technology is taking over. It's like, no, your ass just got dumber. It didn't take over. You just stopped thinking. You just stopped. Yes, and texting is really relaxed. And what I find myself doing when I'm making content informal, yes. When I'm making my content, I sign it Dr. Donna, and people have said, why is she signing it Dr. Donna? And because I'm writing, so it feels like a letter. It feels like an email for me. So sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't do it if it's necessary. But if it's really long and I'm making an explanation, I want them to know that it came from me, that I didn't copy and paste it. This didn't come from Chat GTP or whatever else it is that you can use to make content. Because now AI can write your content for you, your comments and everything for you. You don't have to do any of that. So part of it now is that I want them to know that's coming from me. So basically, in summary, is we have a group of lazy ass thermometer people who are taking less and less control of their minds, but want more and more control of the world. Yeah, that's dangerous. And not really wanting to have to do anything, but wanting to make it seem like the things that they're doing are actually grandiose. So it's almost like, and Virginia has said this before, I'm ahead of the curve, I'm ahead of the time. And Nola has said it too. So I'm like, am I, are we going to meet and do this? Am I going to get there ahead of time? Are they going to get there and have to turn around and be like, ah, we need help. What is this? So for me, I'm like, why is it so difficult, Lord? Just why can't people just want to hold themselves personally accountable, use their brain? Just why? Okay, cool, got it. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. I get it. But wow, it's really showing me where people are because my operation brain, and Kevin, you know this from working in corporate America, is today. What's the numbers today? What's the numbers today? Did we get the orders out? Did we do? We're looking at plan, looking at this, and quarter two, and quarter three. And so my operation brain is like, this needs to be faster. But as Nola says, it was thousands and thousands of people who were supposed to do some of this work to get people to start being more accountable, and they didn't. So you have to go back to be a researcher and not a person that's doing something that's already here. So I have to tell myself that because my operation brain wants it to be faster or at least start the process. But we are not there yet, and being on Threads shows me how far away the actual populace is from daily personal accountability. So it's not 2025. I tell you that much. Definitely not. Not at all. Okay, does anybody else have anything else for me before we get out of here? I do value and appreciate you taking the time to use your mind so that you can change and update the communities where you reside so we can get neuropability to more people and we can actually have people high functioning, reading comprehension, effectively communicating. That's one of the other things. It was not effective communication at all because, again, and it's definitely, I really believe that that's definitely one of the major issues in the world today is the inability to communicate effectively. It is a problem. next to hijacked amygdala. It's probably third on the list. So being unaccountable, hijacked amygdala, and ineffective communication is why we are